and she's got a cake with a gigantic candle in it because it's Kaka's birthday.
Just what a man who believes in Jesus would want.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Tommy Boy, and if you are a City fan, welcome. With me, Tommy Stewart, to my left, Sebastian Dennis White, James Paul Christian Bird to the left of him, and Asad Raza opposite, where Owen usually sits, where the king usually sits. For the benefit of the listener, I have a tiny guitar strapped around my shoulders at the moment. We'll see how that goes in a second. This is Mundials, reminding you why you love football. Virgins, hello, settle in and see how it's done. Regulars, put your keys in the bowl, sit back and relax to some award-winning audio gold. Don't believe me? Here's a wonderful review from Andrew Rickett, who messaged me this on Instagram, and I think he might have said the same on Discord. I love the Mundial podcast. I can't believe I didn't listen to this sooner. I listened to the episode with Oliver Bierhoff's adventure in Clubland and all those Serie A 90 strikers. It felt like being transported in a nostalgia time machine back to my youth watching all those stars on Channel 4. Oh. I loved it so much, I decided to binge on all previous podcasts and just fell in love. Even the occasional cricket talk takes me back to my seasons playing for Cosley. Is that the right pronunciation, James? Cosley?
Cowsley. That's
Yeah.
the one game
that Burton?
It's in Wolverhampton. It's in between Wolverhampton and Birmingham. The only cricket match that I played last year for my dad's brilliant fourth team, Brew cricket team fourth, was against Cosley, at Cosley. Sorry, let's carry on.
Cosley Cricket Club in the Black Country, and just putting a smile on my face. Keep up the brilliant work, one and all. You have no idea how much joy you are bringing to people. Thank you all.
That is very, very nice.
Bloody hell.
Thank you very much for messaging us. Those things always do make us smile and give us the impetus to keep on doing what we're doing. So please, don't be afraid to send those messages. They are very useful and very helpful.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. And please just leave it as a review as well. Don't just say it to me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Do that as a review. This is a rallying call as well.
That's
please
a very
do that.
good shout.
Because we need to go up those charts. We have a lot of listeners, but if we don't get those reviews on Apple and Spotify, we are going nowhere. So please keep the podcast moving forward. Anyway, on this day in 1994, the US Supreme Court unanimously ruled that a parody that pokes fun at an original can be considered fair use. And that is in inverted commas for the benefit of the listener if you're not watching this on YouTube. The ruling concerned a parody of the Roy Orbison song Oh Pretty Woman by the rap group Two Live Crew.
What is he about to do? Seb, I'm a little bit worried.
So in that vein, let's parody a better Roy Orbison song. I'm going to fucking try it. I'm going to try this guitar. I have tried tuning it for the past 10 minutes before this record. We will see how this goes. It might be very, very out of tune, and we might have to go down to a cappella. Every time on Thursday I open Spotify, all the podcast apps are available. I see a podcast that money just can't buy. Oh, it's so out of tune.
So what?
No, but you've got the melody. So
That was beautiful. I want to know more. I want to know more.
You want to know more?
Yeah.
You want to know more?
I'm not moving. I'm not skipping this one. I'm not swiping right. I'm moving. I'm staying.
One click on you, I drift away. Birdo, Tankman are here to stay. Reminding you why you love football. Reminding you why you love football. Reminding you why you love football. Baby. Down. Thank you, guys. That was
Nice
beautiful.
one.
That was perfect.
You do
It's better
not
without the guitar.
get that on Stick to Football.
We are part of the Acast Creator Network. We are 4.9 on Apple, 5 stars on Spotify, and you can't teach that. Rate, review, and subscribe to Magazine or Perish. Now let's get on with the bloody episode.
Woohoo!
Well done, Tommy.
Terrifying.
Well done.
Adventures in Clubland.
We are going on a bloody adventure in Clubland, aren't we? Indian summers, loans, and last chance saloons, where we look back at a player's career somewhere, might be somewhere obscure, might be one of their biggest clubs. I don't know. Today, we have nominated Asad Raza to take us on an adventure. Hi, Asad.
You ready?
It's lovely to see you looking opposite me right
Tommy,
there.
it's always reassuring to look into your eyes.
Oh, stop it, you.
It's fun.
Where are we going?
We are going to Piraeus and Olympiacos.
Piraeus.
Attica, as it were.
Exactly. Not Athens, Piraeus, very important.
Yeah, I'm a man. Stickler.
Very important.
I'm a man.
Impressed by that, you two.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
Yeah.
Just Google. We're going to Yaya Touré at Olympiacos. A player I've always really grudgingly had to admire when he was at City.
It's not even grudging. You can't even. You can't. He is undeniable.
He's so good.
He's
and
undeniable.
It's annoying how good he was.
Ridiculous.
But anyway, back to Olympiacos. I, researching this, didn't know he had such an wandering, nomadic, itinerant career. He starts with a team called ASEC Mimosas in Abidjan, right? Abidjan. And great name. And then he goes to KSK Beveren in Belgium. And then he ends up at a now defunct team called Metala Donetsk for a year and a half in December. In between that, he has a trial at Arsenal where he misses a header against Barnet in a pre-season match. And Arsène Wenger still wants to sign him, but other people at the club are dithering about and stuff.
Yeah.
And so he just goes, fuck it, I'm going to go to Olympiacos instead.
When is this, Asad?
Huh? 2005.
Was it a case of a trial? Or
Yeah,
did he
it was
have
a
the
proper trial
chance?
against, and he played a match against Barnet.
There's
Where he
pictures of
missed
him
a
in
header.
Arsenal.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
that before.
Wow.
Wenger, another one of Wenger's near misses.
One of many, yeah.
Yeah.
Reportedly, yeah.
But Olympiacos, he's playing with Rivaldo, which is pretty cool.
Is he?
Yeah. Him and Rivaldo. So Toure was a striker as well initially. Early on in his career, he'd be used as a striker, even though he insisted he was a midfielder. A man of his height and technical ability, and shooting some of the goals he scores for Olympiacos and his shooting ability. He'd play up top with Rivaldo as well. And together, first of all, on his Champions League debut against Real Madrid, he assists Rivaldo in a 2-1 win.
This is good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, not bad. And together they go for the whole season. They go and win a league and cup double. But it was, and then Kolo Touré comes out and he's like, "Oh, my brother's new Patrick Vieira," which looking back on it and watching him play for Olympiacos, I thought was maybe unfair, because Vieira's the players like Touré and Pogba. Vieira is someone who they get compared to,
Yeah.
and I think the way Touré moves through the lines and he plays this specific outside of the boot pass into attackers. He plays much more like a very technically gifted low center of gravity number 10 than he's 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
He's a tall lad.
He's a big stick.
He's a big stick.
He's a big stick, but with
big stick.
he's a big stick. Yeah. Rivaldo was somewhat of a mentor to him at Olympiacos. He goes.
What a duo
Touré,
this is.
This is
dynamic duo.
I'm seeing a buddy cop.
Yeah. Well, there's some
main
great
streets
there's
of
some great
Athens.
photos of them together.
Right.
Touré goes. Rivaldo gave him the confidence to go to Barcelona because he convinced him that he was good enough to make the leap. Because they just spend a lot of time together, and it was what convinced him that he was good enough to go play that. Because I've played with Rivaldo and I've won the league and the cup with him, so why can't I do it? Which is pretty good. So he scored 3 goals for Olympiacos. 2 of them were free kicks. I love a Yaya Touré free kick as much as that 2013-14 season where every week for Man City. Every week I wanted him to fail, and it seemed like every week he'd score a 35-yard.
He scored 20 goals. Actually.
Yeah. And some of them were some of the best free kicks I've ever seen. But the way he takes free kicks is unlike. I don't really know how to describe it. He takes 2 steps and just swings his leg at it really nice and slow, and he just. No matter where it is, it's going top corner.
It's like he's swatting a fly.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And some of those.
So he only scored 3.
Yeah, but 2 of them were some of the
brilliant.
fucking incredible free kicks. One of them and the other one was a late run into the box, which he was also really good at doing, right? He's also Olympiacos played Man City in a pre-season friendly in 2005. It was a summer, right?
Yeah.
And he's the only ever Olympiacos player to score against Man City in England.
That's a good fact.
That's quite mad, isn't it?
There's a couple of good facts in here, young Asad.
Hey, man.
Are you a journalist?
Hey, man. Doing some research. Which is a pretty fun fact, I think.
That's a great little nugget.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
There are a lot of sliding doors moments here, aren't there?
There are.
Playing with Rivaldo is nice. Playing the pre-season game in Manchester is nice. Arsenal, the trial, also nice. I love watching Yaya Touré play football. I think that more than anyone that I've ever seen, he looked like he was playing against children a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know those videos where it's like professional footballer plays against plays against 52 primary school children.
AKA the best videos.
Yeah. And they're all sort of like running after him and sort of like falling down in the mud, trying to grab their legs and nothing, and the players just wading through them like reeds in a lake.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
God, James. Fire in the booth.
That was actually terrible. But no, it looks like that was watching him play at his peak. And then, of course, you're talking about Yaya playing as a striker at Olympiacos, which I didn't know. That's amazing that he played with Rivaldo, and saying that he sort of maybe fit playing slightly further back. He played centre back for 2 seasons. And,
Barcelona, perhaps. Yeah, he played against
Team
Man
that won-
United in the Champions League final, centre back, didn't he?
Yeah.
Team that won 6 trophies.
Yeah.
2009, he was centre half, and like a few years ago, 4 years before that, he'd be playing as a jobbing striker.
And he was the one. He was the one out of that team that beat us twice in the final. Although he'd left for the second final at Wembley, but the 2009 final, he was the one who I would have picked at that point in time if I could have any of them for Man United.
Not Messi. not
Apart from
Iniesta.
Messi, obviously.
Well, yeah, that goes without
I don't
saying.
know.
Yeah, but
I don't know
no,
about
just
Iniesta.
double check.
But I mean, I would argue in terms of Manchester City players I've seen at Old Trafford, I would put him like alongside, maybe above. In terms of being on the ball, in terms of fear when they get the ball, he terrified me more than Kevin De Bruyne or anyone.
Aguero was the only other player, Man City
Anyone.
player, where I'd be terrified.
Yeah, I think he's one of the fucking best players I've ever seen in the flesh.
Yeah.
And not just Man City player.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Like James said, James puts it really well. Yaya is a man playing amongst boys for a start.
And for someone who's 6'4", however tall he is, however big he appears, he seemingly does have a low centre of gravity as well.
Yeah.
Well, one of the first things that we did, for those who don't know, Football Co. acquired Mundial a couple of years ago. And one of the first things I did when we joined Football Co. was help out on some video work with Declan Rice.
Oh.
And Declan Rice, we were like trying to get Declan Rice to meet his hero, so to speak. And his hero... Yaya Touré, and we managed to make that happen. And Yaya Touré surprised Declan Rice at his house.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
So,
it went everywhere.
but I think what that does show, I'm not just saying it because it's a good video, but what I'm saying is, someone like Declan Rice thinks he's the best player that he's played against or seen.
Yeah,
that should tell what someone who's pretty fucking good at what he does himself.
And I think a cross-generational player who can play in multiple positions. That's all you need to say. For Barcelona, for Man City, he's won everything.
My thing with him at City is, where is his statue? Just like, give it him.
Exactly. Give the man his flowers.
He brought you
Give
the
man
FA
his
Cup,
statue.
which was your first trophy in like 38 years or whatever. Like, just give him his trophy. He's such a good player.
Yeah, it's interesting that Silva and Aguero have them.
One.
And
Company
and
got
he,
one as well, I think.
And Company more than deservedly.
Yeah.
So yeah, just one season, and then where'd you go?
He goes to Monaco. So
Has Yaya said anything about whether that playing with Rivaldo is important? Because that's a pretty sort of
So Yaya,
pretty good stable mate.
not a bad player to have as a young footballer. That Olympiacos period for him is a sliding doors moment in and of itself, because like he'd been all over the place. Like, you at that point as a young player, you're in massive danger of just being like, a jobbing player, which he could have been if like the right player at the right time hadn't appeared. And luckily for him, Rivaldo, as he says, Yaya says this in an interview, he said, he taught me a lot. He gave me a lot of confidence to go to Barcelona, because when I was playing with him, it was just me and him up front. We won the Greek League by, I think, 10 or 12 points, and it was amazing.
Boom.
Amazing. Midfield blunt rotation, it has returned. It is going down pretty well. I think you like it. We certainly love doing it. James Bird, we are assigning you with this week's midfield blunt rotation, and I'm very excited because I think it is going to be a good one. Where are we going, James? And who is it? Wow.
Well, we're not actually going to. we're not going to Brazil, but it's a nice song to sing. We're going to Italy via Hungary and the Ferenc Puskás Stadium. 22nd of April 2009.
I like
AC Milan are playing in a friendly against a Hungarian team.
What team?
Aptly named the Hungarian League team. So a sort of all-star team brought together. This game is on the 22nd of April 2009, bang in the middle of their season. They've had a game against Torino 3 days before, which they've won 5-1. And they have a game 3 days after it as well in the league against Palermo, which I think they win 3-0. But bang in the middle of these two league games, they have a random friendly against what is essentially a Hungarian all-star team at the Ferenc Puskás Stadium.
Ooh.
Now, Carlo Ancelotti is the manager at the time.
Must have been it's kind of the end of his
It's
tenure.
the last season. Yeah. It's probably a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's probably got a couple of months to go before Leonardo comes in, takes over.
Yeah, Leonardo. And then Carlo's off to Chelsea, isn't he?
And obviously, this is off the back.
I prefer Donatello.
This is what, two years since they've won the Champions League in 2007.
Fucking hell, yeah.
And they've been in 3 finals in the past 6 or 7 years.
And but that sort of winning the Champions League was sort of the end of that. They were coming down the other side of the hill by that point. But remarkably, the midfield that they had in that game is pretty similar to the one that I'm about to read now, except, I mean, they've added more stardust. So their 5-man midfield for this mad mid-season friendly is David Beckham, Massimo Ambrosini,
What a player.
Clarence Seedorf,
Great player.
and then at the top of this midfield is Kaka and Ronaldinho.
Oh my God!
So you know, this collection of players. You know, you're looking at Beckham, one of the most marketed sports people of all time. A trophy cabinet that's grown in with Premier Leagues, FA Cups, Champions Leagues. Ambrosini, Euros, about 4 Serie A's. Seedorf, famously Champions Leagues with 3 different clubs. Kaka, World Cup,
Ballon d'Or winner.
Belongs to Jesus.
Belongs to Jesus, and Ronaldinho. So you've got this incredible selection of players.
I mean,
Seb wants the goose grease by the look of his face.
Who for the last 2 years. The last 2 years, they've been pretty shoddy, man. They won the FIFA Club World Cup after the Champions League, but their last 3 season finishes, including that, were 4th, 5th, and 3rd, maybe. They don't get beyond the round of 16 in any of the cups.
Oh, blimey.
Whether that's the Coppa Italia or the UEFA Cup they were in for this season, the previous season they were in the Champions League and they didn't get past the round 16. So, like, they've become a bit tired. They've become a bit resting on their laurels, on their names, on their trophy cabinets. But they have to go to Hungary. I did a bit of research about why. I spoke to my friend Martino, who is, I would say, the most knowledgeable European football fan culture person on the planet.
Wow.
And also from Milan and a Milan fan. And I asked him about it, and he was like, "Fuck, man, I have no idea, bro. I have no idea, bro. What? In April, in the middle of the season, bro? I don't know. Ancelotti goes out as well. They've got Shevchenko up front.
Oh my God!
Sheva Pro.
Is Maldini still?
Maldini is still very much about. I think playing next to Philippe Senderos by this point.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, who I think comes off for a young Thiago Silva actually at half time.
This is a starting 11 blood rotation at this point.
I want to do the half an hour documentary about this game and speak to them about why. Anyway, game. It's a nighttime kickoff just before kickoff. 3 women come onto the pitch, one of whom is sort of dinner lady-ish. 60 plus. One who is dressed jeans and a top and is 30. The other who I would say is 25 and is sort of wearing underwear with a pink like 90 over the top. And she's got a cake with a gigantic candle in it because it's Kaka's birthday. So
it's just what a man who believes in Jesus would want.
And the cake is like a green circle with a little football on the top of it, like my mom's made a cake for me.
It's the sort of one you see in shop windows in like town
I mean,
centres.
Like she's made that herself and brought it out.
Yaya Touré would have been very happy about
mate,
that.
he would have loved it. He would have
my
loved
mum
it.
made for my birthday 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
They go 1-0 down. What did you say?
He's still going on about his birthday. Fucking Yaya.
Shut up.
Yaya Stewart.
Yaya Stewart. The birthday cake is incredible.
Birthday cake's incredible. And they go 1-0 down. And you can sort of see this collection of exceptional players. There's only one video of this on the internet, and there's only been about 4,000 people watch it. The comments, there's 2 comments on it, and the description is all in Hungarian. So there's very, very little about this game. There's only 2 or 3 match reports on very sort of like rudimentary
Which is mad, isn't it?
Rudimentary
2009,
personal
a
blogs
ghost
as well. It's a bit of a ghost game. But they go 1-0 down, and on the sort of like the fuzzy footage of this game, you can sort of see Seedorf and Beckham and Kaka and Ambrosini and
Ronaldinho.
You can sort of see them all looking at each other and going like, no.
What the fuck are we doing here?
No. But
This isn't happening.
This isn't happening. We're not gonna lose to this team. So I think about 20 minutes later, Beckham gets the ball in midfield, and Kaka makes a dart. Shevchenko pulls out, and Kaka fills the space, makes a darting through. Beckham lifts this 40-yard ball over the top. Kaka takes a touch and pushes it in. They go in 1-1 at half time.
Even Stevens.
They anyway they
It's all square at the break.
They come back out, and the Hungarian league team score again and go 2-1 up, and you can see them all again going like, No. Ancelotti's just, the eyebrows.
Yeah.
The only
Don
discernible
Carlos
sign.
eyebrow.
And anyway, they sort of go on a rout in the second half and score 4 goals and win 5-2. Ronaldinho does miss a penalty.
Oh, Ronnie.
Hey man, they win 5-2.
But I just thought it was it's a ghost game.
It's mad.
No one knows anything about it. Number 2, it's obviously sort of the back end of this brilliant, or what was a Champions League winning AC Milan team. And they've realised that they're all getting a bit older, but they've just added sort of more ageing stars to it. Gattuso, I think, was still there, and I think Pirlo was also still there at this point as well. So they've got like their midfield fucking blunt rotation. There ain't going to be enough in the joint to pass around.
Well, let's go around it. Let's go around this starting midfield.
Can I say about Ambrosini?
Yeah.
I just clocked this by looking at a photo of him. He kind of looks like a mixture of Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey in the first season of True Detective, if you face match them.
He does. He's one of those club stalwarts who just hangs around long enough to eventually become a starting player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm saying Beckham. Do I want to have a joint with Beckham?
Well, obviously you do.
Yeah.
Do you want?
I want to, but do you think he's
a good
do you
vibe?
think he wants to have a joint with me?
Yeah, he has. I reckon he's up for a good time.
I think David enjoys.
He'd be really.
Do you?
He'd be really specific about it, though, wouldn't he?
He loves a bit of spice.
Probably can't.
Seb!
What a joke!
Is he on fucking spice?
On fire.
From the halfway line.
And this has been. I knew what you'd have said for.
Beckham loves a bit of spice.
Ambrosini, don't know. Seedorf, I'd love to spend some time with
100%.
Seedorf doing anything. I'd love to talk to him. Ronaldinho, he would be getting weird.
Yeah.
There would be some weird.
Do you think he'd be too much?
I think Ronnie would be he's chill, man. You seen his Instagram recently? He's just posting photos of him at Carnival. It's great.
Well, and even when he got arrested that time in like Venezuela or something, he looked so happy.
Yeah. Why do you not want to have a joint with that guy? He's just radiates joy.
Okay, well let's go around then quickly before we end it. What is everyone saying? Asad, I'll start with you. Dream or nightmare?
Dream.
James Bird.
Oh, it's a dream.
I mean, it's one of the most dreams you can get, I would argue.
It's a wet
It
dream.
is one of the most dreams you can get. We will end on that.
Yeah.
I'm saying dream.
Again, the midfield is outrageous and individually brilliant. And
It's a dream blunt rotation.
It's a dream blunt rotation. But I think what also is a dream blunt situation are these sort of weird friendlies that just crop up. These ghost games, like you've just said, so I think that's a really good way of putting them. I mean, slightly different, but I remember when Galatasaray played Shrewsbury.
Fucking hell, they did. Yeah. They did.
In a pre-season friendly.
They did. Yeah. I totally forgot about that.
I think Drogba was playing for Galatasaray.
He was. Yeah, he was.
Shut.
and Wesley Sneijder.
No.
It was that. Yes, you're right, James. It was Shrewsbury Town 0, Galatasaray 3.
Yeah.
And you had Emmanuel Aboué was starting for Galatasaray.
Oh my God.
On the bench, you have Didier Drogba.
Yeah.
At the New Meadow, you have Didier Drogba, Wesley Sneijder. Why was I not at this game? I must have been sniffing MCAT.
Because No, Tommy, we've covered it. It's because it was a ghost game.
Oh, yeah.
They happen in a different time.
Well, I think we should return to that game as well. And I like these ghost games.
Ghost games
is a good...
Ghost games.
I mean, that's a good section, yeah.
People are seen behind the curtain now, aren't they?
I mean, they've got Elmander as well, playing for them.
Johan Elmander.
And Shrewsbury have Billy Jones on the bench, whose brother is known around town simply as Chicken.
Yeah.
True story.
That's brilliant, that. Nice one. Please, if you're listening, send us your random games, your ghost game. Please, you know, you may have attended it or you may know of it, because this is exactly the sort of thing that we should be discussing.
The two aforementioned games, if anyone was there, you can...
Yeah.
You can. That means that ghosts are real.
Yeah.
We could be on... This is proper journalism. Yeah.
So there you go.
Brilliant.
That's the kind of shit I bring to the table, guys.
Mundial joins the dots for football culture. And that's not a boast by us, but the words of an actual subscriber in our most recent reader survey. Why not see what they're on about and have a look at Mundial magazine? 100 pages of global football magic, released 4 times a year. It looks great, smells great, and the writing isn't bad either. Go to mundialmag.com or follow the link in the show description to find out more.
It's not bad. Unite and take over. Oh, mascots of the world. Hand it over, hand it over, hand it over.
What's the next section?
I don't know. I'll have to write it, won't I? Or James will have to write it. This is Mascots of the World Unite and Take Over, where Seb White, to the left of me, will be talking about a mascot, because we love mascots. We have a lot of episodes with a lot of mascots, and I would still say, as Owen has said before, Rapid Man by Asad Raza is at the top of that.
That's a strong claim, Tommy, after so soon after the Wolverhampton.
I still prefer Rapid Man, but it's only because I fancy him.
And there was a lot, and we've had a lot of feedback on that, actually, and people have almost said maybe it might be, and Owen mentioned it at the end of the actual record, didn't he, saying maybe it's time to...
Yeah, we're giving it one more go. But, so if you fuck this one, we're never doing it again.
This is it, you see. This is it. So
this one's a real bad man.
And where has this come from? I think the inspiration for this is quite interesting as well. So before we even get started on who the mascot is and when the mascot is, this came about purely I was watching a game very recently, and I was stood next to a guy who I go to the match with quite a lot, and also the left back of said team, who was suspended because he'd been sent off the week before. And for some reason, we somehow ended up on talking about a mascot called Paisley Panda, who was the St Mirren mascot at the early start of the noughties.
Yeah.
And let's just say, he was rum.
Yeah.
He was rum. He didn't take any...
Paisley, the panda.
He didn't take any messing. So we're going to just outside Glasgow. We're going to St Mirren, which is what a lovely name. Well, doesn't it sound great when you say the word St Mirren?
It does, yeah.
And I love the fact that they used to play at Love Street as well.
Nice.
Oh, Love Street. So just little Seb White.
I'd love to go to Love Street with you, Seb.
Yeah. It's been knocked down. You can't. Sorry. We'll just have to go to Laser Quest instead.
Denied.
Both St Mirren's, Love Street, and my own.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Love is a laser quest.
And very good. St Mirren and St Mirren's arch rivals, if you didn't know. And again, actually, this came about because I was talking about Morton. Obviously, what else am I going to do on a Friday night than watch some random Scottish Cup action on the BBC iPlayer sports scene? And I'd watched
If you're not down Laser Quest, or Love Street, then you can find Seb any Friday night of any week. Yeah,
watching Morton, and it looked deliciously old school. So that's how it came about. And someone said, "Oh, Morton's rivals are St Mirren," and these two people both listened to the podcast and both said, "You should do Paisley Panda." And I went, "Tell me more, tell me more." And he's most famous for, let's just say, loosely, maybe not loosely, seriously antagonising the Morton fans in a derby in the in the noughties. He went over to the Morton fans. He was holding a scrubbing brush and a bar of soap.
No.
And was calling them soap dodgers.
Oh,
and rumour has it.
This is amazing.
Rumour has it that he actually threw said soap into the crowd, which I straight away said,
soap's hard.
Soap's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, that's what bloody Ray Winston's got. Oh, it's ball balls, wasn't it? But you know, you can,
in the sock.
Yeah.
Soap bar in the sock.
That's
yeah.
What, some
That's
people
ball shit.
Imagine getting hit in the face, full flush on by a bar of soap, and you look up and there's a fucking panda. There's a fucking panda that's running.
Yeah, that's not exactly panda in the middle of fucking deepest, coldest.
That's
Scotland.
why you're going fucking extinct.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd be out there with a shotgun.
That was how I read now. That's why in the fucking
And
reserves.
It was good, James.
There's various stories about this, but again, maybe touching a little bit on what we said before. There's different things being said. Some of the truth is maybe embellished, but there was definitely soap. There was even talk of he was parading a giant air freshener in front of them while the address system played Cher's Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves.
Oh,
so
unbelievable.
This is a real full-on assault. You know, this isn't just a little assault on your rivals, you know. An audio, a visual assault. This isn't just a little bit of fun, a little bit of, you know, this is hardcore.
And it's planned.
Yeah,
of course it is. I mean, it's
premeditated.
Premeditated.
Yeah.
So, would you say it's deliciously old school?
It's deliciously old school.
I mean, Seb, do you know why he got binned off? Because he got binned off.
Well, we're going to come to that, aren't
nice.
we? Yeah. And let's just say this causes ructions with the opposition fans, and quite rightly it does. And bloody hell. So much so that even at the next derby, now this is pretty punchy as well, but Morton's, and I read this word for word from the newspaper report, at the next derby, Morton's dinosaur mascot, obviously Morton can have a dinosaur, clearly. We got Panda from fucking Paisley, and Morton with a dinosaur, responded by proudly displaying a toy panda strung from a noose.
Oh my God.
The joke's getting a bit. It's heavy. It's heavy. This is
It's personal.
Mascot on mascot.
These mascots
It's
are
poisional.
genuinely trying to unite. They're not unite. That's the wrong word.
They're
These
not united.
These mascots are trying to take over because this is
Conflicting and taking
So the
over,
police get involved, and there's all sorts of ructions and bit of back and forth. And St Mirren are defending their panda, Morton are defending their dinosaur.
Defending.
By all accounts, and again, not something I knew about until this random conversation on the terraces with the suspended left back who is from Scotland. The Morton and St Mirren derby is run by all accounts. Not much. I think there's 13 miles between them.
Right.
And there's not, but they are quite similar. It's one of those derbies where they're all quite similar, but one of them calls each other soap dodgers, and one of them thinks they're better than the other, and all this. But they're all quite the same. But when it comes to football, things can get a little bit spicy.
I always say that about me and my mate. Always say that about we didn't say it in our early 20s, but now at this age, we always say that about United and Liverpool.
Well, yeah, that's the
There's
best
more
example.
Yeah, there's
more in common.
Way more in common.
Yeah, I mean,
same.
Less
really.
so, there's not much common between a panda and a dinosaur. But, so it's just fair to say. So we all know about the mascots. We've heard of mascots in times gone by. Cyril the Swan getting a bit edgy. The
Deep Dale Duck.
Deep Dale Duck.
Oh.
What about the two that had a fight? The Wolfie and the Red Robin from Bristol City or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is quite punchy.
The noose is that's a lot.
Yeah.
This is a lot.
Yeah. Does it remind us why we love football? Maybe
it does a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. The fact that they've gone to such lengths, and we've got such.
Wums.
Where else in football, or where else but football, could a man dressed as a panda?
Yeah.
In the middle of Scotland, go up to another group of fans with some soap and air freshener while Cher's playing and, in an attempt to antagonise. This isn't just your usual, come on, have a go if you think you're hard enough. This is proper.
Refined.
Yeah.
Mate, he's something else. Like,
And it's fair to Asad, you did mention it. There's a different version of the Paisley Panda is no longer, shall we say,
R.I.P.
because of maybe ructions and
maybe he took it too far.
Yeah.
I read an article where apparently he got done because it was a Falkirk game and they binned him off because he kept taunting the Falkirk fans for not having a stadium. Then he simulated sex with a sheep, apparently.
That's right.
And he was wiping his arse with a Falkirk kit.
I was going to come on to this, Asad, but you've described it brilliantly. Yes, it's not just the Morton lot he took exception to. Yeah, he did some very rum things again with a sheep in front of some Falkirk fans. You know, which it's lawless up there. What it does tell me, even though obviously times have changed and things have moved on, that it reminds me again a little bit why I love football, but also reminds me how we need to do more stuff on Scottish football, because I think 100%. Scottish football has got these gems, and it was only because I was talking to this player who has played in Scottish football, actually. One of the first episodes we did, we paid great tribute and a well-deserved tribute to Roddy Forsyth, didn't we?
We did,
Who was like, for me, growing up listening to Five Live and stuff like that, Scottish football was a huge thing. So I think, we need to touch on this more. And if anyone knows any more crazy mascots in Scottish football, please let us know, because that was a good one.
I enjoyed that so much that I think you've actually resuscitated the potentially dead mascots of the world.
Who said it was dead?
Well, people were saying we couldn't follow up Ender Walsh.
Oh, damn.
The tone of voice that the good people at the View from the Terrace use with regards to Scottish football is the most on brand and perfect tone of voice. Because they love it for its like peculiarities and its like relative smallness compared to English football, at least in terms of money. But they take the piss but also promote it incessantly. They're great.
Yeah, good shout out for that, James. Great shout out.
Introducing The Hat-Trick, a new subscriber newsletter from Mundial. Each week, there'll be 3 stories linked by a theme. Stories from islands, stories about people, stories about heroes, stories about villains, stories about love, hope, despair, joy, and, of course, goals. Go to mundialmag.com to sign up to The Hat-Trick now.
Ins and outs, you know what it is by now. We say things we like, we say things we don't like. I am the judge and jury today, which means I will decide if the thing that people are saying is in or out. So I'm going to start with, you know what? I'm going to let you decide. Who wants to go first? Does anyone want to volunteer? Asad Raza wants to volunteer. Go on, mate.
Mine is the away goals rule. And there's a very specific reason for this, is because I was watching the Champions League knockout stages and like the past few years, and the sense of jeopardy and like high stakes. Yeah, sure, there have been like very high scoring games, but like the thing that like crushed me the most was when Ian Robin scored against United at Old Trafford, knocked us out on a wiggle. I still think about it, seared into my brain.
What's a goal?
Sure, the games become more boxed in and tight, but the games feel like they had real drama and a real sense of like, fuck, anything could happen here.
The Ajax
I agree.
Spurs game.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
My God.
United Juventus 1999.
For all of those,
semi-final.
for all of those, like when Liverpool smashed Barca and all that kind of stuff. I remember exactly what I was doing. The past few years, just
it was more dramatic,
more fun.
It was theatre.
It was more fun. It was more fun.
Yeah.
So that's
in, because I have been thinking the same thing recently. 100% agree. Asad. Seb White, what's your in, mate?
I'd probably blow my own trumpet a little bit, but who the fuck, no one else.
Can you do the sound of what that trumpet would sound?
I'm going to blow my own trumpet.
Ding dong.
I recently contested. I was part of a team in a football quiz in North London.
Oh, were you?
And we may well have won the bloody fucker.
Oh, my liege.
And actually,
Guilty.
It was just quite nice. It was just really good fun. The quiz was great fun anyway. It was a great fun quiz. A lot of fun, a lot of different rounds and different types of things. In a great setting, done by a very good host who just happens to be a friend, but he's also a very good host. Yeah, it was nice to win something.
It's nice to win things.
I was, as I just
You were there?
Guilty. I was also on Seb's winning team.
That's the real quiz.
It very much was good. It very much was Seb's winning team. I would just like to say that there was a bonus round at the end whereby Tayo asked if people could Name the 2 teams that contested each FA Cup final between 1980 and 2000. And Seb, who by this point had a couple of
all of them.
All of them. Seb by this point just went, anyone got paper? You got a pen over there yet? And then just sat down for 5 minutes and just wrote them all down.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
I missed one.
You missed one.
1982.
It's like 30
1980
years.
to 2000. That's Seb. That meant that you had to write down 38 teams in the right order.
This is why we're lucky to do this podcast. Most people don't get to tell the world that they won pub quizzes.
Yeah.
But I'm reveling in your fucking victory here. That's obviously in. Brilliant. And I'm really proud of you guys. James Bird, what's your in today, mate?
My in is 3/4 shorts for training. Like, you know, those early 2000s, Lundberg wore them. I think Henri wore them for a bit as well. You know, not shorts, not trousers, in the middle, halfway up your shin. A friend of Mundial's in New York bought some out recently, and I want to get a pair and wear them for training.
I saw them on your Insta story.
With a snood.
Oh. Yeah. Me and my brother
And pink frosted tips.
Oh, we lived in those 3/4 lengths.
Yeah.
With total 90 Astro Turfs.
There you go.
Umbro 3/4 lengths from Sports Direct.
There you go.
Yeah.
From about 2003 to about 2007, that was all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was...
and you know what? That's where they should have fucking stayed.
Yeah. I knew I could see that coming.
You could
Honestly,
see it brewing.
honestly,
couldn't you?
I have never on this podcast felt something should be more out in my
Wow.
You know what? I'm going to take it to a vote.
Vote.
Assad.
I abstain, man.
Oh.
You're a shithouse.
No.
You're a shithouse then.
No,
Actually worse than
fuck
voting
that.
against.
Seb, you fucking know I'm a shithouse.
Fair enough.
You're a shit house.
Yeah. You don't abstain, just
Then.
Yeah. No, honestly, and
Right, no, come
I
on,
saw-
you have to vote. You have to vote.
that's fine.
I'm for it.
I'm 43.
James?
Yeah, I'm in.
There you are.
Seb.
3-1.
I might text Owen.
No.
Oh. I'm going in because I do love them.
Yeah, you like them.
Which is definitely in, is keeping a clean sheet at 6-a-side in a league match. Now, if you've played 5 or 6-a-side with those fucking...
How long?
40-minute game.
Whoa! Tommy Stewart, well done, sir.
Kept a clean sheet. I've played in 2 league matches since my return to football. I now play football 2 or 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, sometimes Friday nights, sometimes Sundays. I'm addicted to playing football again. It is the best thing in the world, and mentally I feel amazing. But you feel even better if you keep a clean sheet.
That's really good.
In a league match. So I'm buzzing, and that is in. Let us go to outs. Anyone want to just say how brilliant I am in goal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Saint Ika. Saint Ika Stewart. That's what I was.
Thank you.
Ika Stewart. Yeah. Very good, Tommy.
James Bird, what's your out, mate?
Dark evenings, and they're on the way. They're on the way out. Sun will set today at 5:30. I think. Look outside now. What time?
Yeah, it's getting longer.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Days getting longer.
They are literally on the way out.
They are. There you go.
Spring's on the horizon.
Are you complaining about the seasons?
No. It's good. Dark evenings are on the way out, and that's why I was happy that you just brought up the away rules Champions League knockout games, because I am always so happy when the Champions League knockout stages come around, because it's when it starts to get lighter in the evening. That feeling of watching like Manchester United versus Juventus, and it's light outside when it kicks off.
Oh mate,
it's
I
fun.
always
That is
remember
fun.
when I think
That
of
feeling.
a light Champions League game in the sun. 2006 final, Arsenal versus Barcelona.
Yeah,
I just remember that being a sunny fucking day.
I remember Real Madrid Liverpool at uni. We were just getting pissed.
God,
watching
you're
that
young.
team. I know.
God, you are young.
Yeah.
Hang on.
That was about a year ago.
I was at uni with a bunch of. I was surrounded by a bunch of.
Someone fetched the Patrick Truman NFT.
Can't believe, honestly.
I was surrounded by a bunch of
You were at
Spaniards.
uni watching that?
Yeah, a bunch of people from Madrid.
Do you know where I was?
Fucking hell, man.
I was at a restaurant.
I'm old.
I was at a
I'm
restaurant.
fucking old.
I was at a restaurant in Bologna with Mathilde.
Nice.
And she caught me watching the game on my phone at the other end of the table like this, and she lost her shit.
Yeah.
She was like, "I know that you love football. I know that you work in football, but when we've gone out for a meal,
In
just the
another
two
country.
of us in another country, away like this, can you just not? Can you just not?"
Yeah.
It's the final, Matilda.
It's the final.
Final. Wait, you caught the goal. You caught the goal.
Was it because you were wearing 3/4 length trousers?
Hey!
James, dark evenings are
Dark
definitely
evening, well, they are, 'cause you can't.
because they are.
They're literally out.
There's no way around that. Asad Raza.
Mine is. It
thing.
might be controversial, might not. Is non-celebrations against your former club. I
Agreed.
like-
You're putting them out.
Yeah.
Not controversial in the slightest.
100%
Okay,
agree with you.
cool.
Out.
Don't need
Done.
to explain it.
Seb White. Also, that is one of the best outs ever. You're in and out today. Brilliant.
He's done well, hasn't he?
Done really well. Kid's done good. Seb.
On running trainers, does anyone know what I'm talking about here?
Yeah.
I don't, so explain to me.
Those trainers with loads of
holes in.
Oh,
the sole.
Yes.
Ugly as fuck, and if Crocs were trainers, the end.
Fucking out. Done. Talking about my out is just, I was saying how much I love playing football again, but what I forgot about is how, because I'm very passionate and I do get about a lot, and especially being a keeper.
You do it for the shirt, don't you, Tommy?
I do it for the fucking shirt, James. I do. And I keep reopening my fucking knees, both knees, and they're just, every shower is painful at the moment. Finding, those little black 4G beads, and finding them just coming out of my knees, rank. So they are out, and that is it. That is reminding you why you love football. Please, 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 we have said it many fucking times. The most important thing, if you enjoyed this, if you are still with us, if you're listening, is just to give us a review.
And we know the stats, and more than most of you are definitely still listening at this point. So listen to what we say next.
We know the stats because we harvest all of your data and we sell it to Big Football.
Follow us at Mundial Mag on Instagram, on Twitter. There's a lot of good content. There's a lot of content from the podcast. Subscribe to the magazine. The magazine is the best fucking magazine out there. Seb is currently dabbing it.
I haven't seen anyone dab for years.
No, neither have I.
No, dab is this. He's doing the Usain Bolt.
Oh, was it the Usain Bolt? I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking. In the corner of my eye, it felt like
you
a dab.
insane Bolt.
Thank you for listening. We love you very much. Please, honestly, I keep going on about it, but please leave a review because that will get us up the charts, and that's where we want to be so we can do this forever. Forza Viva Mundial. Come on, the boys. Come on, the girls. Come on, the theys. Thank you very much.
Lad.
Reminding You Why You Love Football is a Mundial and Football co-production. Produced by Tommy Stewart and Seb White, hosted by me, Owen Blackhurst, and recorded on the run.